I'm Brandon Smith, and I'm the workplace therapist. My entire purpose and passion in life is one singular thing, and that's to help you live a life free from dysfunction. And let's be honest, folks, dysfunction is everywhere. Our bosses, our coworkers, our neighbors, even that grumpy barista that pours your coffee. And sometimes, that dysfunction stares back at us in the face when we're getting ready in the mornings and we see ourselves in the mirror. Well, at the end of the day, life and work should not have to suck. The purpose of this show is to help you overcome those roadblocks in your life to help you realize the life you've always wanted. This is the Brandon Smith Show, and I am your host, Brandon Smith. The entire purpose of this show is one singular thing, and that is to help you live a life more free of dysfunction. And today, we have a very special treat for us on our topic today. We're going to talk about generational communication is our broad topic. Specifically, we're going to talk about Gen Z. So this is our folks, our generation behind that are following the millennials. So we can get an up-to-date version of how they talk, how they communicate, so we kind of know what we're hearing. And so for that topic, I have a special guest. Well, we're going to see how this goes today. Abigail Smith. You know, Abby, I really like your last name. How did you get this last name?
It was passed down.
It's passed down.
Yeah.
So, Is it possible that you and I might be related?
Maybe. There's
Maybe.
a slight chance.
Yeah. So normally I would say that I have my guests on the show. When I was talking about this, Abby's my daughter. And so I'd say, well, guests normally don't live in your house and you pay for everything. So guests or squatter. So Abby is my daughter / squatter, lives in my house. Oh no. She looks so offended.
It is offensive. I like to think I'm a little more important than a squatter.
So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about, would you say that what I just said was extra?
Yeah.
Was it salty?
It was a little much.
Okay.
It was definitely
Tell
extra.
us a little bit now. So I have not shown you this.
Okay.
I have made a list
Oh no.
of all the phrases that Abby uses in my house, and I'm trying to figure out what they mean. Okay. So you're going to help us with this. Okay. Are you ready? Because this is about generational communication. I mean, we got to get serious for a minute. Okay. Help us out.
Okay.
Get close to the microphone.
Okay.
There. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. So how would you describe I've been operating today towards you?
Definitely excessive.
Excessive.
Definitely extra.
Extra. What does extra mean?
Extra's like too much. Extra's like, what are you doing?
Is it negative?
It can be, but sometimes it's funny.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like, oh, you're so extra, like,
And then
ha
that's
ha
good.
ha. Yeah.
Yeah. Because normally I've heard you use it more of like that's like too much.
Yeah.
But then when we did our Christmas lights outside, we decorated our house, you said, oh, this is way too extra, or this is extra.
I said it was so extra.
And then I thought you were throwing throwing shade. Oh, by the way, what does that mean?
Shade is like, it's like hinting at something. It's like passive aggressive. It's
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, nice shirt, Dad.
Hey, now.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I feel hurt.
That's shade.
That was low-key offensive. Oh,
It
wait,
was.
I used another one. Low-key. So talk to us about that. What does that mean?
Low-key is like when you're trying to play something off. It's like, it was definitely, but you say low-key to make yourself feel better. So it's like, oh, I'm low-key offended by that. Like, I really am offended, but I'm just going to kind of play it off.
Low-key. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I've got a couple more for us.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got some more. Lit. Talk to us about this phrase,
Dad,
lit.
you're not allowed to say that. Like,
Why not? I can't say that I'm lit.
no, that word
I'm
is
lit
gone.
right now. I can't say
That-
that on the
no.
show.
No,
No?
that word is done with. It was done with a year ago. Like, it's over. No one
What?
ever needs to say that word again.
So what was it supposed to mean?
It was supposed to be like crazy, like you're wild, like, oh, like this is so lit. I know, like
I'm so
back
lit.
in no,
I can't say that.
you just can't. No, actually, side story. Our pastor on Easter said Jesus is so lit.
Yeah, that was That was that was cringe.
That
Oh
was
wait,
cringe.
how about talk about what does that mean? Cringe.
Cringe is just you don't know what to say about it. Like there's just nothing you can say about it. It was awkward and uncomfortable, and it should not have happened.
So you just say cringe.
Like oh cringe. Like
Okay, you just say cringe. Okay. How about fi?
okay, fi is like when something's cool. Like you get a new pair of shoes and like they're cool. You're like oh those are so fi.
My shoes are fi.
I do like your shoes.
Oh,
Not gonna lie.
oh yes.
I'll give you that
Yes.
one. I'll give you that one. I'm like
I'm a champ
he
today.
a Nordstrom box came in the mail, and then he pulled out those shoes, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Those have been on my wish list for like 6 months."
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty lit too.
No.
No, I can't do that. Okay, so there's a couple more that I've got on here that I'm puzzled by. So you told me I can't. You don't photobomb. You don't say photobomb.
No, I used that
You
word
can't
in
say
5th
photobomb
grade.
anymore.
No, you never should have said that word, Dad. You should never have said it.
So what do you replace that with? If because you still there's people still photobomb, right?
No, you don't photobomb. It's just not funny.
You don't call it something else. You're so serious.
Because
Why
photobombing's
so
not
serious?
because you're attacking
I'm
my
not. I'm just
words.
curious about the word photobomb. How is that attacking you?
It's not a thing. We can move on.
Okay. Okay, how about hashtag? Do you still say like hashtag? Hashtag squatting in my house?
Ironically, but not like
Hashtag-
as a thing.
Hashtag you took my credit card out of my wallet 2 nights ago?
To pay for my lifeguarding class. It was not like I was online shopping. Okay, keep going.
So, okay. All right, so here's another one that I got. I'm confused on this one. Okay, so by the way is people just say BT dub.
Yeah.
That's the same amount of effort as to say by the way.
I say BT.
3 syllables, by the way, BT dub. Why
I
even
say
do that?
BTW.
That's more work. BTW, by the way. Why would you do that? I thought the whole point was to shorten it to make it no. It's just no, you don't know. You can't explain it.
Not really.
I'm confused too. This is a very rando convo. Oh, I can't say that. No, I can't do that.
No. Dad, no.
I misuse rando a lot, don't I?
He does. And he does it to annoy me. But rando is just...
I would never try to annoy you. I love you too much.
No, you don't.
I do. I
Oh
love
my
you so
gosh.
much. I love you in a very fi kind of way. I do. Seriously. So
That's
rando,
not-
how are you supposed to use it? Cringe?
Yeah, just it's...
Oh, it's not.
Rando is like... I just can't... No.
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 I've
No.
created a cringe moment.
Yeah, this is...
Okay.
I would
Cringe combo.
just...
I'm sorry.
Look it up
I will
on
move-
Urban
I will
Dictionary and
move
be
on.
done with it.
This is very dangerous. Where is this going? I have no idea. Okay, so all right. So that's part of my list. I have more things to talk about. Tell us about then when you want to communicate with your friends and you want to share information.
Okay.
How do you do that? What are the ways, your go-to ways? What are the things you would use and not use?
Okay, so I mean, there's text, obviously. That's a pretty generic, basic one. But Snapchat's a big one.
Keep your mouth in front of the microphone.
Sorry, Snapchat's a big one.
So I am dad, so I have to kind of.
So for those of you who don't know, Snapchat is a form of social media where you communicate through pictures. You can text on Snapchat too, but like the main thing with Snapchat is pictures. So you can send pictures one-on-one with someone like a text. You can also put pictures on what's called your story. And your story lasts for 24 hours, and all of your friends can see it. So there's different things that you would put on there.
But only lasts for 24 hours.
Only 24 hours.
So is this why you feel like you have permission to just take random pictures of me?
But I don't put
And
those
put
on
it
my
on
story.
your story?
No, I don't put those on my story, Dad. Like those are Snapchats individually, 2 people.
It's typically you with a great cute picture of you and then me like looking out the window, you know,
They're
lost
hilarious.
or something.
They're so funny. I'll find them. They're
No,
pretty funny.
Don't find them. You didn't even ask me to take permission. Like you just take a picture of me and then send it to somebody. Isn't there some law against that? No. Oh no.
Not
See,
in my law book.
This is where the world's going. Just Random pictures. I almost said rando.
I
didn't
know.
do it.
I was
stopped
like,
myself.
thank goodness.
Okay, so Snapchat. So your story. I still don't understand this. Do you call it your story? Do I say like you posted up to your story?
You say I added that to my story.
Added it. You don't post it.
Yeah, it's not like posting.
If you're 40 years old, then you say you post it.
And you're like, what, Dad? Like,
you added
no. Yeah, you just add it to your story.
I added it to my story. I complimented my story.
And so, like, another big form of social media that's used is Instagram. But the difference between putting something on your story and posting something to Instagram is when you post something on Instagram, it has to look good. Like, they all have to match. They all have to go together. And you want to look good in them. But when you put something on your story, it's supposed to be funny. It's just casual. It's kind of like whatever you want. And it's a chiller version of posting something to Instagram.
Chiller version.
Yeah.
What's that just means? Like, is that like low key?
Sure.
Okay.
You could say that.
It's low key. Okay, so I've heard you critique other people's Instagram in a very angry way. You have very high standards for Instagram, which doesn't seem to match the standards of the cleanliness of your room. But that's a whole other story. We'll talk about Instagram for a second. And is this like an advertisement thing? It's almost like it's your marketing piece. You're marketing yourself and your brand and who you are and what you represent.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Your
definitely
eyes
what
lit up
Instagram is.
As if I'm right.
Because you hit the nail on the head for once. Like, everyone write this down.
Once.
He
Write
got
this down.
social media right. So that's what Instagram's all
You got my
about.
producers to applaud in the background. I'm low key offended.
Well, I'm low-key sorry, but
you're
not
throwing
really.
shade in my direction. Salty.
I am salty.
Very extra.
It's true. Anyways, yeah, but with
I don't like this combo.
Okay, we can move on.
Okay. All right. So then who gets access to Instagram versus Snapchat?
Okay, so Snapchat, you have to add the person. So it's not like Instagram where you can scroll through Instagram and see a bunch of different people and you can follow them. With Snapchat, you have to more directly add them. You have to do it if there's a purpose behind when you add someone. So it's not just kind of haphazardly. With Instagram, you can pretty much find people and follow whomever you want to.
Okay, so really it's kind of a marketing thing. That's where you can get followers on Instagram, but on Snapchat, it's a personal communication.
Yeah.
And you decide who you want in that channel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now I'll give you a situation. Let's say you're trying to get a homework assignment.
Okay.
And you think a friend might have it.
Okay.
How are you going to reach out to her or him? Actually,
Well,
you don't have any male friends, so we're just going to say her.
Anyways, no, what you would do in that situation is you don't text someone, you go to GroupMe. GroupMe is like the go-to. So
This is a whole other thing?
Yeah, GroupMe is like a whole other thing. So we have GroupMes for each of my classes. Like last year we had a GroupMe for all of them. And so
Who set that up? Was that you all as classmates, or did the
classmates
teacher
set them
set that up? No.
Yeah, teachers are like nothing to do with this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, they have nothing to do with this. But no, students set them up. You add people who you know are in that class, and then you can ask for a homework assignment over that. You can ask for whatever, and it's pretty much just everyone helps each other out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you check it on the daily?
I mean,
Oh, that's another one.
I don't
on the
really.
daily.
I didn't use GroupMe that much just because, like, teachers kind of catch on. Like, if everyone turns in the same worksheet with, like, the same answers, like...
Is this organized cheating?
Pretty much.
How come everything sounds like it's a criminal event?
Yeah.
I'm concerned. Okay, well, we've just hit our moment for a break. So stay tuned because I have conversations to have with you after the break. So stay with us. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and revisit with our resident expert of communication for Gen Z, my wonderful daughter, the one and only Abigail Smith. Stay tuned.
Right job plus the right culture plus the right boss equals workplace happiness. The number one reason people leave jobs is problems with their boss. A horrible boss can make us dread every Monday, but an amazing boss can make us so excited to work that we'd go in on weekends. Finding your perfect boss is not only possible, it's one of the most impactful steps you can take in crafting your perfect career. Visit theworkplacetherapist.com and click on guides to learn how to find and get your perfect boss, whether that means making the decision to move on or turning your current boss into the perfect leader you want them to be. Our bosses have so much influence over our work and our whole day. Working for the right boss alone can be a winning career strategy.
Welcome back to the Brandon Smith Show. I am your host, Brandon Smith, and if you're just joining us on today's show, we are talking about generational communication, and specifically with Gen Z. And I have a wonderful, amazing guest on today, my amazing, fantastic daughter, Abigail Smith. Was that cringe? You seem like that was so awkward.
No, it wasn't cringe. I just.
Like you didn't believe that.
Oh, you don't say it.
I do. That's not true. It is not true. Not true. So tell us a little bit. So last we left our conversation, we were talking about organized criminal events, which is basically
Okay,
how
that's not true.
your generation seems to communicate. No? I'm sorry, but I missed. Was I? Is that salty and extra?
I wouldn't call it a criminal event.
Okay, well, sharing homework assignments.
You asked. You literally gave me that scenario. You were like, you need a homework assignment from a friend.
You don't know what the homework assignment is.
But it's helpful too, because like if you need to know, when is something due? Like someone is bound to know it out of like the 150 kids in the group meet, like someone has to know.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Okay, so let me just summarize to make sure I'm learning this. Okay. So we have Instagram, which is kind of our personal marketing effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put up really great, awesome pictures, the best ones we can take that kind of represent who we are and always kind of polished. Then we've got Snapchat, which is more how we communicate kind of our daily stuff going on with our friends. And That's invite only. Mm-hmm. And we don't post that. We add that to our story.
We do.
Getting this. Bear with me.
He's getting there.
Okay. And then if we really want to do organized criminal activities, then we do
group communication. That's when you use like GroupMe.
Group communication, then we use GroupMe.
So if I'm a part of a club or an organization, like there's going to be a GroupMe for it. And that's when you discuss everything going on.
And that is organized by members of the group, but don't share that with like the administrator or the teacher or no. You roll your eyes.
Because you're being so dramatic.
Well, I'm just trying to be clear. I'm just trying to. What else is there? Is that it? That's how you're gonna. That's all you need.
That's pretty much the basics. There's also
that's just the basics. So there's more.
Well, there can be more. So there's also another app called Visco, which is also used.
Visco. How do you spell that?
VSCO. Visco.
VSCO.
Yes, and so you use Visco when you want to edit your pictures for Instagram.
Okay.
But Visco's also kind of a social media in itself, because with Visco, what you do is you can post pictures to Visco. So Visco's where you put your artsy pictures. You're not quite as personal pictures, but it's cool things that you've done, cool things that you see. And then there's tons of filters on it. And they kind of have like retro vibes to the filters.
Okay. I'm retro. I'm old school.
He is old school. He's pretty old school.
It's all right. No school like the old school. That's right. Okay, so, oh my gosh. And then texting, right? And then you're going to text?
Texting's also a thing. Yeah.
Of course.
Of
obviously.
course.
But how about, I didn't hear you mention Facebook. I didn't hear you mention email. No.
Facebook's just not something that we use. Facebook's what our parents use. I know some people that have Facebooks, but those people have Facebooks for specific purposes. So, for example, one of my friends, she's really into theater, really into drama. Her mom has a Facebook account that she runs for her daughter when it comes to, like, she posts videos and stuff. So Facebook can be used, but only when you want to connect with older generations.
Okay, so let's now say you've got a boss. Okay, so the day is going to come. I cannot wait until she has a job.
I have a job. I have a
I
job.
think a tear is coming out of my eyes.
I have a job. Let me
thinking about
clarify.
this.
I'm a lifeguard. I have a
You
job.
just got hired as a lifeguard, but have you received a paycheck as of yet?
No, I have not. But it doesn't
Then-
matter because I
No.
have a job.
No paycheck. You're still a squatter in my house. So let's talk about how you would want to communicate with a boss. Because we've talked about everything you're doing inside your own generation. What about when you got to interact with someone in a different generation? Like someone really old, like 25 or something. I mean,
Oh, Lord. 25-year-olds. I don't know.
then what are you going to do?
Well, I think email's still an option. I think emailing's good. I wouldn't text my boss. I would email a boss. LinkedIn. LinkedIn's also something. I know you're a big proponent of LinkedIn, but I think
Was that like low-key shade right there?
it wasn't.
was.
It was just me laughing.
I'm low-key offended. Hashtag.
I'm not
happy.
sorry. And no, but LinkedIn, I think that's also a good option. I know a lot of people in college who search for internships. They use LinkedIn. That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
I would agree that's a thing. It's a good thing for people with jobs.
I have a job.
No, that's for another show. We can debate that. Okay, so now let's talk. I've got some other questions for you.
Okay.
I'm really fascinated by this idea of authenticity and people being authentic, because I think that looks different in different generations, label that differently. So when you think of someone being authentic and real, what appeals to your generation?
There isn't a lot of authenticity. That's more one-on-one contact. That's more like you're talking to someone. Instagram is not necessarily authentic, and I think everyone recognizes that. Everyone recognizes when you post on Instagram, you're not posting your ugly days. Like, you're not posting sad things. You're posting your fun times. You're posting your ups. That's the thing. When it comes to social media, people don't see a lot of downs. When you add something to your story on Snapchat, it's not like you all alone, just chilling in your room. It's you with friends. It's you doing something. So I haven't quite figured out what authenticity looks like for our generation. I think that's a really good question.
So you don't know what draws you to people when you say, "Oh yeah, he's authentic" or "she's authentic" or "he's not authentic."
There are some people who do use Instagram to be authentic. There are people who take that and they put their story out there. They use Instagram to communicate their
This
life.
is an authentic conversation, isn't this?
It is.
What was that?
Well, you're just
Am I being any different than I would be at home?
no.
Oh, now that was shade, folks.
He
Did you
probably
feel
yells
that?
at me.
I felt that.
He yells at me more at home.
Oh
whatever.
my goodness. I roll.
That was an eyebrow lift.
Okay, so then my last question before I hit you with my life hack question.
Okay.
What do you think is the difference? So you and I were talking and throwing a little bit of shade on this because the millennial generation has gotten so much attention that Gen X on the front of them gets ignored and then Gen Z gets ignored. Like you still don't even know the label of your generation because everyone's still talking millennial. So how would you describe as the difference between your generation, Gen Z, or whatever for our placeholder label, and millennials? What's the difference? What do you see as a difference?
I think the biggest difference is communication.
Okay.
I think they did have cell phones, but they didn't have Instagram. They didn't have Snapchat. That wasn't really a part of them growing up. And so I think something that we've talked about is I think our generation is actually going to grow up to be more independent. I think that's something that we're going to see because when we come home and we're at home, even though we're at home, we're still doing our own thing. We're still connected through phones. And I think that's just going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Because I can be sitting there with you, but I can be talking to my best friend at the same time, and you don't know what I'm saying. There's still that independence factor.
This makes me feel really uncomfortable. I feel like I need to be doing more oversight. Can I just hang?
He doesn't. He's good.
Stand over your
He's
shoulder?
good. He's good.
We talked about that the term for photobombing is really creeping. I could just creep over
Yeah,
your shoulder.
you could say that.
Can I do that? You like that when I do that, right? No?
No, I don't
No,
like
you
that.
don't.
He does that all the time. I'll be like sitting there like making my lunch in the kitchen, and I look over, and he's just standing there staring at me. And I'm like, how long have you been there? He's like, a couple minutes.
That's how I roll, folks. Sorry. And then she doesn't just look over there. She's like, "Oh, Dad, what are you doing over there?" Nothing. Just here.
And he thinks it's so funny. Whatever.
It is,
Whatever.
man. Hashtag dad humor.
And then I think another big thing is also we've grown up with different parents. Our parents have different philosophies.
You grew up with the past. Yes. She's so lucky. Hashtag blessed.
No.
All right, Abby. This has been a great combo. Why don't we shift on to life hacks? So I ask all of my guests, in this case squatters, whenever you come on the show, what is a good life hack for eliminating dysfunction in our life, whether personally or professionally? Okay, so a good life hack. So examples would be like, I clean my room every day. So that's a good life hack, right? Or no. I wake up when my alarm goes off. That's a good life hack. You get up early risers, right? Or with the early bird gets the worm. It's not that.
I'm not getting the worm then.
No, she's not getting the worm, folks. She is not getting the worm. Let me just tell you. Okay, so life hack. What do you think?
I think a life hack that's really important is communication like this, talking, laying off the phone for a little bit. I know people harp on that a lot. That's the thing we're seeing more and more
Old
is
school.
Turn off your phone. But I think that's important.
Hashtag proud.
I mean, I have the best conversations.
With your dad.
No, when I'm not on my phone. I think that's something that's super important for everyone to remember, is that there's more.
Put the phone down. Connect. Be fully present. Look at a person. Engage them.
Yeah.
Learn more about her or him.
You can do so much more, and you can learn so much more when you're one-on-one and not talking through a screen.
And I think as a family, there's some things that we do that avoid phones. Like we never use phones at dinner.
That's true.
We always talk. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're pretty old school. I'm trying to move them forward a little bit.
Yeah, folks. Well, you moved us a couple. It's probably 1958 in our house, 1959. She's moving us into the 60s. We'll get there.
Slowly. Very
Slowly. So, anything we haven't talked about today that we should have? Anything else you want to make sure that we add in this combo?
I cannot think. I will say this kind of contradicts what I just said when I said laying off your phone. But I think that there are so many things that you can do through a phone that are really important that I think a lot of older people aren't taking advantage of. And I think that's why you see younger people, there's a lot of things out there that can make you successful. You can be successful through Instagram. You can be successful through Snapchat even. There's ways to make it work. And I think getting out there and trying it is really important.
I'm getting a Snapchat. I'm getting a Snapchat account, and I'm going to add my story, and I'm adding Abby. I'm just going to
I can block you. I can block you, Dad.
Every day. I liked it. Thank you. I'm taking that life hack.
That's not what I meant.
You are a joy in my life, Abigail.
I know.
Really, really. I know.
I'm just kidding.
I know. So thank you for coming on this show. I'll have to, when you get a job with a paycheck, then I'll have to have you back. And then you can be a guest.
I have a job. I'm a lifeguard.
She is.
I have a job.
Certified lifeguard that has not received a paycheck as of yet. If anyone's looking for a lifeguard, one available. No? Okay. Next, by the time this show airs, which will be very shortly, okay, actually it's already aired, so I guess we'll have to wait. The refry of this show. Then folks, when you see this at a later date, she'll have gotten paid with a job. So Abby, thank you for this. I think I learned a lot about communication, not only about words and phrases and things I can say that are good and things
you cannot say them. Clarification.
That I cannot say.
Clarification. He's not going to say them.
I'm not going to say any of these phrases. And then also learned a lot about social media and learned about how I can be more successful in social media. So look out for my Snapchat,
Get your
folks.
aesthetic.
Here it comes. Here it comes. And then thanks for the life hack. Nice. Glad to know that there's no school like the old school. Glad to know that putting down the phone,
That's not what I meant.
having good conversations is great. So if people want to learn more about you, is there any place you'd recommend they go? Your Instagram?
Well,
No?
I'm sorry, folks.
No. So in other words, no, she's not ready to join the rest of the world. Stay there. And that's okay. So thank you all for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I know I did. I'm going to go home and look at Abby's room, make sure it's clean. Until our next show, continue to follow us on social media at Twitter at the WP Therapist, and of course on Facebook, facebook.com/Brandon Smith WPT for Workplace Therapist. And know that our show airs every Tuesday at 9 a.m. So be on the lookout. And until our next show, have an awesome week, an awesome life. I'm Brandon Smith, and I'm the Workplace Therapist. My entire purpose and passion in life is one singular thing, and that's to help you live a life free from dysfunction. And let's be honest, folks, dysfunction is everywhere. Our bosses, our coworkers, our neighbors, even that grumpy barista that pours your coffee. And sometimes, that dysfunction stares back at us in the face when we're getting ready in the mornings and we see ourselves in the mirror. Well, at the end of the day, life and work should not have to suck. The purpose of this show is to help you overcome those roadblocks in your life, to help you realize the life you've always wanted.